Hey everybody, welcome back to Building SouthLake. So today we have some other things to work on, a new building that's not over here, but it's actually a new skyscraper that we're going to be working on. And also, we need to go over here and add in our subscriber of the week. So let's fly over here real quick to our stadium, and we're gonna come out here real quick, and we're going to type in the name, and the person of the subscriber of the week this week is Sam Cattle. Hopefully I said your name right, dude. So, we're going to spell it in here. So, it's going to be S-A-M space, and it's C-A-D-L-E. So that's why I said cattle, not like the animal. C-A-D-L-E, right? And there we go. So, Sam Cattle, if you are watching, thank you very much for subscribing to me. I really appreciate it. Especially to all of you who have subscribed, I really appreciate it as well. And let's go get started on the skyscraper that I told you guys about. So basically, this is kind of starting the whole expansion of, this island finally, and that's actually why I'm pretty excited to build this new skyscraper, especially to kind of see how it looks. So if we fly over here, it's kind of over here by some of these newer buildings, and whoop, you can see it pop into frame now. As you can tell, it's right here. It's actually pretty tall. I'm not sure if it's taller than this one up here, but it's actually meant to be a pretty big skyscraper because it's meant to be right next to where the river is going to turn, because the river is actually going to turn both ways. So it's actually going to go that way and this way as well, so it can lead into an ocean at some point. So basically, we just need to finish up this one. Well, we're not going to fully finish it up, but you kind of get the idea. So really simple. If you actually want to know how to make this skyscraper, it's actually really simple. I got this idea from Huntington. Big surprise. As a lot of you guys know, Huntington is one of the servers I play on, to where I get a lot of inspiration for different things, and because they make some amazing, builds, and just everything is amazing on that server. And so I got this idea from them. I kind of changed it up a little bit, added my own little design to it. But the main part of the design, using like the gray wool with the cobblestone walls actually going out like that, is actually part of their design, which I actually really liked, because it adds a different feature to it, having like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like having this these tiny pieces here in the middle that you can see through really does make a difference. I think when this is all done, it's definitely going to look really cool. So this is actually meant to be probably like a government building, most likely, like with the color and how clean it looks. Now, depending on how it looks when it's done, might completely change that. But as for now, we're kind of planning on making it like a government building, different things like that. I'm also still not sure what I want to build right over here, because there's not really too much space to build anything, and I want to build a parking garage to an extent here, but I'm not sure. This is one of those really weird places to where it's like, what can I really put there that would actually fit in with everything else? So that's still under development, like most of the things in this server. I'm actually really happy with how far the city's really come over. I believe it's been maybe just over a year, or if just below a year, of how far the city's come. And I've seen a lot of great comments from you guys saying how awesome the city is, and I really appreciate that, guys, because I love seeing your feedback on how it looks. And one of the things I don't really like that people do, though, is I see a lot of comments talking about my city, and they say well, I want to start a city, or I started my city, but then I saw yours, and it makes me not really want to build my city anymore because it makes mine look like crap. Definitely don't do that, guys. Just because, my city's okay, but there's definitely better cities out there than mine. If you go on PC, you're going to find ones like Huntington. Different things like that. So, don't let somebody else's creativity kind of get you down. If anything, use it for an example. And that's what I do. For example, Huntington, I look at some of their buildings and I go, okay, how could I remake that in my own way? And so just try to find different ways to actually make your city. Don't worry about how somebody else's world looks, because it's all up to you. I mean, it's your opinion on what you think looks great. Everybody else has their own opinions on that. So definitely don't, look at my city or anybody else's and say, well, since yours looks so much better than mine, I don't want to build mine anymore. Don't do that, because it doesn't really bug me when people say that, but it kind of makes me it's like you don't have confidence in yourself at that point. So I really don't like when people say that to me, because yes, I understand that that this city is pretty good, especially to some of my other ones, but you also have to remember that I've spent a lot of time making cities in the past, this isn't my first city, so you kind of have to remember that. Some people on their first city might not look great. If I go back and look at my first city, it was absolute crap, but look where I am now. And so I talk about my old cities a lot when it comes to building and different things like that, mainly because I use those as an example and a reference point to what my building skills used to be like versus now. Because now everything's a lot more organized. It feels smooth, like transitioning from one road to the other. Things look like they're meant to be there. And that's one of the things that I didn't do before, but that also takes time to actually do as well. So don't just look at your first city or your second city and say, no, this is the best I can do. I don't want to build it anymore because I've seen somebody else who is better. You know, just keep building and just expanding on it. And eventually you're going to make a better city. You're going to make better builds because of the time you put into it. The more time you put into it, the better results you're going to get out. So kind of just like keep that in mind. I guess it was like a small little rant there. I just don't like when people say that. You know, I don't like when people talk down on themselves. You know, some people mean to say it as a compliment to me. It's like, oh yeah, I mean your city's so much better than mine that I don't want to work on mine. Some people will say that as a compliment, but to me that's not really a compliment. You're just not counting yourself as a good builder, which I definitely think is a big mistake to some people, because some people are really amazing. They just had to find what they're good at. And everybody's good at their own things. Like you have medieval builders, like KaoshKraft, a lot of medieval builders on that server that I play on. And so, you know, everybody has their own style. You just have to figure out what it is and put the time into it. So, yeah, like I said, small little rant going on there, just because I thought about that. What are some other things that we could talk about? So E3 just got done, and a lot of cool things come out of it. I think we kind of talked about E3 last week as well. So I don't want to talk about E3 too much this week, but man, so many good games are going to be coming out, and I cannot wait to play some of them. Probably the game I'm most excited for is probably The Division, and then Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Mainly because, as you guys know, VJ and I, or We Be Stranger, as you guys may know him, we play a lot of games together, like FIFA, just different games like that. And so, one of the games that we used to play all the time on the Xbox 360 was Rainbow Six Vegas 2 because of the terrorist hunt mode. Excuse me, guys. And that was actually one of our favorite game modes in any game because of the replayability and the difficulty of it. And we're actually going back to Halo at this point, actually we're trying to beat all the campaigns on Legendary, which is actually really, really hard. Oh my goodness. I do feel better though. I feel like I got something out of my throat there. So let's see. So I don't really want to talk about that too much either. I'm trying to think of some other things we could talk about. One of the things that we could talk about is one of the series that I'm going to be having that's actually coming back to my channel, which I'm actually really excited for. You're probably going to see it sometime later this week for the first episode. Is you're going to see the series Modded Survival coming back. And so I talked about this a while ago because VJ and I, we started up the series, but then like after 3 episodes, not even maybe, I think we got to 2, we kind of had to end it, mainly because my computer, for some reason, it went from working one day to running the mods and being able to actually run those, to the next day it's like, no, we can't run any of these mods. So my computer was acting really weird, so we couldn't really record anything else. And one of the main things that sucked was it kind of left off on a cliffhanger and on a funny moment. So we're actually restarting the series and trying to bring it back. Hopefully it's going to be as funny as the last one, which I think it will be. We have a lot of great mods incorporated into it, and also we're going to try to mess with each other as much as possible. How are we looking? My chair is squeaky. Oh, I'm sorry if you guys can hear that. So we're almost to the top here. Yeah, this building is going to take a while to build because of how big it's going to be. And, not really excited for it, but at the same time I am, because I want to get these big buildings done. Because I'm actually getting to the point where I don't want to build too many tall buildings anymore. Mainly because if you add too many, it's not going to feel realistic. But I'm trying to add, some decent ones. I still have a couple of really tall buildings I want to, kind of add in. But you're not really going to see too many more like skyscrapers like this pop up throughout the city, mainly because we're starting to get out of the inner parts of the city, and I kind of want to get away from like those really, really tall skyscrapers There you go. Because I want it to transition smoothly from, you know, skyscrapers to a little bit smaller buildings and then to houses. It wouldn't feel right if I had skyscrapers and then houses immediately, like on the other side of the river. For some reason, to me, that wouldn't look right, because like the transition would be just really weird from the height of the buildings to the next one. So that's something that, like, I really don't want to do. So I'm trying to kind of transition it a little bit more smoothly, I guess. Might be the best way to describe that. Oh man, how many floors is that? That's a lot of floors. Definitely a government building. And one of the things I'm not excited for, that I'm going to have to do, is all of this right here is going to have to be filled in with grass. And I am not excited to do that, because that will take a very, very long time, which will suck, but to an extent, you know, it needs to be done. So I'm not going to complain about it too much. Also, another thing I'm happy about actually turning the lake or the river like this is the fact that this highway actually isn't pointless now. And that's actually one of my biggest regrets looking back on it now, is how the highways kind of turn like this. Especially with, I feel like I just turned the highway like that because that's the space I had originally. I didn't kind of compensate for expansion of the outer part of the city. So that highway, especially on the other side, I'm not sure how I'm going to make it work with everything else. So it'll be interesting to see like how I do it, because I'm not even sure how I'm going to do it yet. So how much time are we at? We're at 12 minutes. So yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do with this side of the highway right here, because I can't really turn it, you know, and I don't really want to get rid of it at the same time. But if I have to get rid of it, I will. I don't really have a problem doing it if it makes everything else around it look better and feel better. So, because right now this is actually kind of a restriction area to where it's like, well, what am I going to build here? So I might have to get rid of some of it, try to find a different way around it. We'll have to see like how everything's turn out. This is actually one of my favorite views of the city right here. It's just seeing all, like, everything pop in. You have the bridge over there, you have all the skyscrapers you can kind of see. I'm really happy with how far the city has really come and how organized it looks. Definitely one of the things I need to start adding more of, though, is actually more trees and just more like greenery, things like that, to kind of add a little bit more color to the map, which is definitely something it needs. And actually, that skyscraper is actually looking pretty good for its location. I'm actually pretty happy with that so far. I think when it's done, it's going to look a lot better. Oh, because one thing it's definitely going to make this building a lot better is I'm not going to add any glass into this building until the next title update. Mainly because the next title update is going to have stained glass. Finally! Because stained glass will make some of these buildings look so much better. Mainly because of just the different color it's going to add to the buildings and different things like that. So I'm really excited to actually finally get stained glass on consoles, because I know it really wasn't too long ago to when PC got it. And so we're really just kind of waiting on that next update. I'm trying to remember what else they said they're going to add. One of the things they said they're going to add is the control of the weather. So basically I can turn weather on or off, which will be great for the daylight cycle. So I can finally turn that off and then not have to worry about it raining and not have to worry about, well, the rain's there. I can't sleep though because it's not going to become nighttime. So I'm not going to have to worry about that anymore, which I'm also really excited about. It'll be great for building. I'm trying to think of some other things that are going to be added that I can remember. I think they're adding armor stands if I remember correctly. Like I said, stained glass is a big one. I'm not really too sure. Oh yeah, so one of the things I do want to ask any of you guys, so as you guys know, this is for you Xbox One people who have Xbox Ones. Oh my goodness. So basically what I'm wondering is there's a program out there, it's called oh man, it's like Xbox Preview Member. And basically what this does is it gives you the ability to actually get updates early to kind of test them out and see if they work, and you kind of have to respond to see like your problems with it, if you have any problems with it. And I'm actually not signed up for that. I thought I did, but if there is any of you that are signed up for that Xbox Preview Member, because I think you can invite people, that would be really cool. I would even give you a shout out if you did that, because actually I really want to be a preview member so I can start playing more of my 360 games. like right away on the Xbox One, because that's one of the perks of being a preview member, is that you get, you know, not just updates, but different, you know, things like that early, like the backwards compatibility thing. You get that a little bit early as well. So if any of you guys have that Xbox preview membership, it's not even a membership, it's free. But if you guys have any of that and you want to invite somebody, hey, I'm just letting you know that I'm here for you, you know. You don't really have to if you don't want to. It's just one of those things to where I know if you're an Xbox preview member, you can invite people to join. So, how far up are we? Not even close. Alright. This building's looking really good. I'm not sure what color of glass I want to put into this building when it's done, though. Because maybe, like, I'm thinking maybe like a dark. Because if it is a government building, you wouldn't want people being able to look on the inside. Which means you would want like a darker glass that you can't really see through. But maybe like a white would make it stand out more. Or like a cyan or something like that would make it stand out, you know, from all the other buildings. I'm not sure. It'd definitely be one of those things where it might take some experimenting and putting like rows by rows next to each other to see. Jax. Oh man, this is one of the bad things about having a litter box in my office, is that when the cats have to go to the bathroom, it really stinks, literally. I guess we're not too far. So when we get up to the top here, we're probably gonna call it quits for this part, because we actually got quite a bit more done than I thought we would. Again, if you do want to make this building, it's actually really, really simple, guys. All it is I took a color that I wanted to use. I made the pillars too wide and the windows too wide. So basically you're just going too wide, a gap, too wide, a gap, and basically like different things like that. And really simple building, and then I just put cobblestone walls going up the pillars that we made here. And that really does make a difference in design and how it looks. Oop, I need to go over one down here. Give me a second, I need to fix that. I forgot one right here. How did I do that? What? So we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more, maybe 7. I didn't really fully count it, but so I'm out of like kind of things to talk about for this episode. I'm not sure really what I want to talk about yet. Again, I'm really sorry if you guys can hear Jax. He is just really, really annoying right now. Being very loud. He's one of those cats where he throws litter everywhere when he's like trying to bury it, which is really annoying. That's one thing I probably could change about him. I wish I could change about him, I should say. Other than that, he's a really good cat. Laid on my back this morning to wake me up. Basically used me as a big pillow. I was like, well, thanks cat. Also, I'm not sure if you guys saw the video I put on Twitter of him. Basically, he does not like me. He does not like to be alone, especially like when other people are home. He does not like to be in a room by himself. It was actually really funny because I was playing the Xbox all night with my friends. He did something bad to where he swatted at our other cat. So we kind of put him in the bedroom for a while and just kind of locked him in there for a couple hours. Not even a couple hours, maybe like 30 minutes to an hour. And he starts meowing when he's by himself like that. And I walked in to him and he basically just started meowing like crazy. I think it was 20 meows in like 30 seconds or something like that. It was ridiculous how much he was meowing at me. And it was just really cute and really funny at the exact same time. Well, that actually is looking a lot better once we have this put in. Like those pieces. Alright, well, thank you very much for watching, guys. It is greatly appreciated. I will talk to you guys later. If you want to come back tomorrow and check out my Vision series, definitely do that. If you want to come back later this week, you're going to see more modded survival. Like I said, kind of give you guys a small teaser about that here. So, bye-bye, guys. Thank you very much for watching. It is greatly appreciated, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.